What's up guys, and in today's video we're going to be solving the 2024 AMC 10A problem 13. So two transformations are said to commute if applying the first followed by the second gives the same result as applying the second followed by the first. Consider these four transformations of the coordinate plane. A translation two units to the right, a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise about the origin, a reflection across the x-axis, and a dilation centered at the origin with scale factor 2. Of the 6 pairs of distinct transformations from this list, how many commute? Well, let's first simplify this process and name each transformation. So let's say that this one is A, second one is B, third one is C, and fourth one is D. So of these 6 pairs, we can first define what each one does. So let's say that the original point was x comma y. Then A would turn it into this would be x plus 2 comma y. Now B would be negative y comma x. C would be x comma negative y. And D would be 2x comma 2y. Okay, so now with this information, we can start determining pairs and seeing whether or not they commute. So let's use a sort of FOIL method on this. Alright, so we'll first do A to B, then A to C, then A to D, then we'll do B to C, B to D, and then C to D. So let's first do A and then B. A and then B. This would lead in the fact that it would become negative y comma x plus 2. The other way around would make it so if we had B comma A, the other way around, it would be negative y plus 2 comma x, meaning that A and B do not commute. So this doesn't work. Now let's try A and C. A, C. So we get that it's x comma negative y for C, meaning that A comma C would just be x plus 2 comma negative y, and C comma A would just be x plus 2, sorry, I can't write a plus sign today, comma negative y, meaning that these two do commute. So that's one of them. Now let's try A and D. A comma D, that would be 2x plus 4, comma, 2y. Now D and then A would lead in 2x plus 2, comma, 2y. Meaning that these do not work since these constants are not equal. No, wait, my bad. Now let's test the next case, which is B, comma, C. So this would be, let's remember that B is negative y comma x, and then C is x comma negative y. So B and then C would just be negative y comma negative x. And then C comma B would be equal to this would just be y comma positive x, since the negatives would cancel out, meaning that this is not commutable either. Now let's try B comma D. So since this is negative y comma negative y comma x, and then D just doubles both values, this would just be negative 2y comma 2x. And then D comma B would be the exact same thing. Meaning that this works. So now we have our last case, which is C comma D, which is equal to 2x comma negative 2y, and then DC is equal to the same thing. Meaning that that case also works. So you can notice that this case, and this case are the only cases that work, which are 3 of them. Hence, our answer is C, 3. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.